See if it's up and running. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Awesome. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Decided to do another. Here, let me snooze that ad. Here, I decided to do another stream. We did Tier 3, Week 7 for. Oh, okay, you're not responding to a sound check. Thanks, Escalade. But anyway, we did the second half of this team's matchup of Tier 3 yesterday, and I wanted to knock out the first half as well because those games were just absolute bangers. They were so much fun. And so I had a little bit of time and I wanted to get some more StarCraft in. So anyway, today what we're going to be looking at, we have 3 more matches between the Build Disorders and the Big Naturals, known for their great personality. And we have Bete playing Terran, facing off against Quantum Leap playing Zerg. And then we have Dada, who's not actually playing Protoss. I don't know why that says Protoss. I'm pretty sure, he might be. Hold on, let me check real quick, because I'm pretty sure he's a Zerg player. Yeah, he's a Zerg player. Let me fix that on this screen real fast. Boom. We'll have Dada playing Zerg versus Nice One playing Terran, and then we'll have H. Meyer playing Terran against Who Knows playing Terran. So a good amount of Terran. Every matchup's going to have Terran, 2 TVZs, and then a TVT to finish it off. So should be a lot of fun. If they're anything like the matches yesterday, we are in for an absolute treat, and I'm pumped. So, there's a few things we need to knock out. Obviously, we have to do our anthem, but last stream, and another reason why I wanted to do this one is I felt bad because I started the breaking news segment. And we had that first news story that came out. We learned about Escalade's bribery scandal. We learned that people bribe him to take bribes so that the zero effort zealot rush still kind of, struggles, I guess to say, this season. But anyway, we have another breaking news announcement. Let me go ahead and play that for you right now. Thank you, Manshark. Hello and welcome. A new wellness trend is sweeping the competitive Starcraft scene. Starcraft players are reportedly adopting the term fingering to describe pre-match hand stretches designed to prevent injury and improve performance. Team managers across several leagues and clans say fingering is now a mandatory part of warm-ups. Coaches tell us that a proper fingering routine can mean the difference between a clean win or an unsatisfactory finish. Veteran players stress that skipping fingering is risky, and Anderson is quoted as saying, "If you don't finger real well before a long session, you're just asking for problems." Look, I finger every day, sometimes twice if we're practicing late. It keeps me loose and ready. Everyone on the team fingers together. It's just part of the culture now, and it's something we can do between games. Some friends and family members have expressed confusion after hearing talks about fingering at the dinner table or out in public, but organizations insist the practice is safe, normal, and a precursor to improve performance. We encourage controlled fingering. Start slow, build up, and never rush it. Improper fingering can leave you sore, and that's a slippery slope that can lead to injury. Usually best to start out with 1 or 2 fingers at a time before you work up to more. I used to be shy about it, but once you start, it's kind of hard to stop. It just feels right. League officials say the term isn't going anywhere, despite calls to rebrand it as Hand Agility and Nerve Deployment Yield, or HANDY for short. Dada told us in an interview, "We tried changing it to sound more scientific, but the community really likes fingering. It's catchy." So there you have it. As StarCraft continues to mature, so does its language, sometimes in unexpected ways. Officials remind players to finger safely and finger often. Back to you, Manshark. Okay, so now we know, right? You can add it to your morning routine, your pre-StarCraft routine, where you wake up, you hydrate, you get your build order, and then you finger thoroughly. So thank you, Sharkman, for that news, that breaking news, and let's go ahead and get into the staged, you're killing me in the chat. You're just like, what did I just see? And we'll keep these breaking news segments because honestly, I think they're just a lot of fun to make. So let's go ahead and do our anthem, and then we'll get into the games, and it's going to be a kick-ass day. Let's do it. So stand up, hand over your hearts. Let's show respect for CPL and the Starcraft community and everything that we hold dear. That's right. We just talked about fingering. Everyone finger together. It's best done with friends.
Rise and losers fall, reflexes sharp, minds and floor. Gamers play, this never ends. CPL, legends play. CPL, we fight tonight. Let us sing the storyline. From the shadows to the deep, we are the Coach-Pupil League. We are the Coach-Pupil League.
All right, cool. The sole reason I stream is now completed. Let's do the secondary portion where we actually watch some games. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with Bete facing off against Quantum Leap, and it is sure to be a kick-ass TVZ. We're going to be starting off on... Ooh, are these out of order? Let me also get desktop volume up and running. Oh, everything's a mess. Everything is just not going well. Interesting. Okay, anyway, we're going to be starting on Knockout. Knockout. And here we go. Let's go ahead and get you over there. And I might restart my game here after this match, just real briefly, because my sound is coming through my speaker and not my headphones, and that's going to drive me absolutely bonkers if I don't fix that. Let me get the scoreboard fixed. Let's put this back on Knockout. Cool. All right, let's see if they do top versus bottom. They did, because they are professional players. Game audio is very loud. Okay. Let's just fix it. Everything's all scrapped and screwed up. So let me exit it real fast. Good thing Starcraft's like a 30-year-old game. Not hard to close and open real quick. No cinematics. No battle passes to worry about. Pure RTS beauty. Okay. We're back up and running. Let's go ahead and get Bete versus Quantum Leap on Knockout. And be on our merry way. And pretend that everything that just happened didn't. Okay, cool. See, you're right, Dada. Improper fingering can lead to sound problems. You saw it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take care of your fingers. It maximizes health, and it maximizes fun. Hey, Bete, my man. We're watching you. Welcome. And how come you're Bete 8 in chat, but you're Bete 3 here? Is there something about your numbering system? And while I wait for this, let's go ahead and talk about these players. We've got Bete, our red Terran up here in the top left on Knockout, representing the build disorders. And we've got Quantum Leap, our blue Zerg, representing the big naturals, known for their wonderful personality, up here in the top right on Knockout. Oh, gosh dang it. Yeah, you have no game audio there. I really should never stream. But then I wouldn't get to dance to the CPL song. Yeah, the NS... It's good to see. There's a really fun copy pasta I have saved somewhere about... like, it's really... I'm really glad to see the NASL sound guy still has a job. Yes. Fun fact, I am the NASL sound guy. Anyway, what we got going on in this game? Right now we have what appears to be Likely a hatchery first, maybe a 12 pool, but we do have the Overlord out first for Quantum Leap. Bete is starting to wall off his ramp here with his barracks. No refinery as of yet. Well, it does look like he's actually going to be going into a refinery. I didn't expect a mech play, but I have, and I think we've watched some Bete games on the channel in the past, TVZ, and he does mix it in. Mixes in mech and bio. So, does look like he might be going that route. I feel like it's a little too early to be throwing this down if he was going to be going full bio. So, we'll go ahead and just see. We do have a hatchery started here at the 1 o'clock position for Quantum Leap. I guess 2 o'clock, if you want to get real specific. 2:30. Spawning pool and extractor. Oh, Bete, you got to go for 15 minutes? Yeah, we can pause. No, we're not going to pause. We're going to watch this without you, and we'll tell you all about it when you come back. We have the factory being thrown down. We also have all the SCVs coming off gas. This tells me that he's likely going to be expanding after this factory is built, and we'll probably be seeing a few vultures come out for some potential early harass opportunities. Yeah, both players just chilling and scouting. Bete starting off with a cross-spawn scout, which is a little interesting. This might have been a technique to try to catch some overlords. I'm not entirely sure. Generally, what we see with scouting patterns from TVZ, a lot of times you'll have like a single SCV head out in like a box pattern, and then if they don't see the Zerg at the first base, maybe send out a second one going to the opposite corner. But it does look like Quantum Leap does have a solid read on where Bete is. He's going to be sending 4 Lings across. Now, there's already 2 Marines here clogging up the hole on the ramp, and so there's not going to be any issue. Bete, feeling the pressure, does start his CC up on the high ground. And so here come the Zerglings. They're not going to be able to get anything done. They're going to have to bounce back. Bete has this on lock. And it does look like we're going up to Armory. Now, the Armory before a second factory is interesting. This may indicate, actually, that he's not going for a Goliath build. But maybe into a later, like, Valkyrie idea. I'm not entirely sure, because even then, you would generally probably want your starport started before this. So, we'll have to see kind of what route he goes. We do have vultures out on the map. It looks like he is going to try to take some time, get some pot shots off on these Zerglings. Meanwhile, over here at the natural, Quantum just now throwing down a creep colony. This isn't going to be done early enough to stop these vultures. Oh, but it might be if these Zerglings keep delaying them. I want to see these vultures go straight into a mineral line. Just push them in there, Bete. Oh man, these Zerglings for Quantum Leap doing such a good job of keeping these vultures out of the base, and they have taken enough hits that you can't just yeet them in there. Otherwise, the Zerglings will likely kill them. So, overall, a little bit of a missed opportunity, but not that big of a deal. He did kill some Zerglings. He's getting the repair off on these vultures. He's preserved them. They haven't gone down. Happy honky-dory. Everyone's good. Meanwhile, up in the main base, Quantum has started his Spire. Now, this is kind of something that Bete is missing when it comes to scouting information, but it's generally assumed if you don't see anything, it's probably going to be mutas. We do have the Armory. Currently still sitting on 1 factory. This is a little interesting for me. I feel like at this point you would normally want a second factory to start pumping out these Goliaths. Because, you know, the other thought process, because we didn't see the second factory, was that maybe we would be seeing like a Starport and Valkyrie play in anticipation of a muta offense. But looks like he's comfortable to sit on 1 factory. We have the engineering bay, going to be able to start throwing down some turrets here, which he needs to do soon because mutas are about 2/3 of the way done. He's going to have 5 mutas popping out here very soon and being a huge pain in his butt. First one out on the map you can see there. Now, Bete, because the mutas have come out, has had to move his vultures, and he's just keeping them out on the map for awareness. Ooh, it's going to be close timing here with these turrets. He's got 2 up in the main. I think we saw 2 down at the natural. But the main is where Quantum Leap wants to get some damage. Alright, we'll see how these Goliaths do. He only has 3 out right now. And I'm curious where Bete's money went. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, there's the second factory. Yeah, Sensei beat everybody. Bete is my coach. He's the only person I listen to in the Discord. Okay, third hatchery. Being taken here at the natural in the bottom right. This is going to allow Quantum to secure this main if he can get this up and get it saturated and defended. And after seeing the idea from Bete that he's going to be going more of a mech play, we are seeing more mass Mutalisks being produced. Oh, is that what happened staged? Okay, because the build seemed... It felt just a little off, but the money seemed low enough to make it make sense. Okay, so there seemed to be a mishap with the mining on the SCVs early on. That makes a little bit more sense. Because I've seen Bete play, and that wasn't his standard, I don't think. Okay, cool. Yeah, of course, Swoops. Fun matches yesterday. Yesterday's matches were a blast to watch. Alright, 10 Mutalisks running around. We did just hear that missile turret burn down. That's unfortunate. We are starting to really kind of explode our factory count. We're going up to 4 factories and really kind of trying to catch up on that Goliath production. Sitting at 6 right now. It's not uncommon for around 8-ish minutes to have close to 12. So Bete's probably feeling a little bit behind on the Goliath count. Charon boosters have been upgraded though, so we do have that additional range, which is going to help a ton. But we do have a full control group of Mutalisks floating around getting damage wherever they can. Okay, so you can see here, getting +1 armor for the Goliaths. Once that upgrade is complete, that's sometimes the trigger to move out, but it also times up pretty well with when kind of the final Mutalisk push really comes in, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. We'll see if Quantum decides to keep this up, but you can see here the Goliaths have hit the mass that they need to push that away. And you can see here, like, Bete's really caught back up on his Goliath count. Going up to 4 factories and now a 5th is going to enable him to keep this number high. Now, the next step is he's going to be moving out. He does have that +1 armor completed, but he needs to make sure that he preserves this force. If he comes in here and he fights all these Mutalisks on top of the Sunken, then there's a chance that the Mutalisk could knock him out. But the one thing I think that's going in Bete's favor is that there's only 1 Sunken here. And there's not enough Zerglings. Like, generally, what I see when my mech fails and I try something like this, it's because there's 3 or 4 Sunkens. And without a tank, you just can't break through efficiently enough. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how Quantum controls these Mutalisks as well. Okay, Bete kiting back with his Goliaths. Really well done. Exactly what you want to do. You want to keep these Mutalisks flying and not shooting. Oh my gosh! I missed it. I thought that was the group that was hanging out over at the base. No, Quantum playing with a ton of Mutalisks. Completely wiped out that Goliath force that we were just saying, hey, we got to make sure we preserve this. Oh man, Bete's going to have a lot of fingering to do after this map. It's because here comes the Mutalisk fleet coming in. I don't think Bete can defend this. This is one of those situations, one of those play patterns that you see, and it's just like, okay, I guess I'm just dead now. Because one of the things you could try to do to fight this would be start getting science vessels. And you see the starport starting, but he's just not going to have it in time, right? Like, science vessels, maybe if you have a cache, like, just start slapping turrets everywhere you can. But losing all of those Goliaths across the map, that's a bummer. And honestly, I just don't think Bete had a read on how many Mutalisks were out on the map. I was fooled, and we have 100% information. I thought that there was only that one control group at the natural. I totally missed that there was a second control group on the map. Alright, SCVs are coming here to try to repair this factory, but the Mutalisks sitting on top of the production. We have at least 12 here. Oh man, GG. That was fun. Okay, so we're starting off fast. We're starting off hard and heavy. I have no doubt that Bete was doing a whole lot of fingering after this to warm up for the next map. Okay, so I need to open all my sheets so I can do the scorecard stuff. So that one is going to be a victory for Quantum Leap. Now let's go ahead and go into map number 2. And this is going to be on Radion. Alright, Quantum up a map. Going into map number 2 on Radion, 4-player map. And up here in the top right, we have our Terran hero, none other than the legend himself, Bete. And then down here in the bottom right, we have our blue Zerg, Quantum Leap, who essentially just massed mutas and beat Terran last game. A tale as old as time. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about right now. I'm trying to think of things to talk about. I don't want to ask for Prime subs because I do that too much. I don't want to make fun of Escalade because I do that too much. There's a lot of fingering jokes floating around my head, but I think we got enough of those. Oh no, they're wigging out! Alright, I guess one of the biggest things we can discuss is I've seen Bete be really successful with his bio play. And so I'm curious to see if he's going to keep up with the mech. It seemed like Quantum had prepared for that in CPL. You know, there's replays available. You have all week. You have your team to practice with. And Quantum may have just done rep after rep after rep against a mech build, knowing that that might be the opener for Bete. I don't know if he has a pattern to how he approaches his best of threes. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bete kind of transition into a little bit more bio play. As soon as I say that, though, he goes up there and builds a refinery, so. Try again. Meanwhile, down in the Zerg base, we do have a 12 hatch. And spawning pool going down. And so, a couple things, if we're doing the same kind of matchup again, and we have the same kind of builds, there was a couple points last game that I think, if done differently this round, can really go into Bete's favor. The first one is if Quantum is as late or, you know, is trying to play as efficiently and optimize as much as possible with his sunken, I really do think that the Vultures can do some serious damage. Like last game, he could have gotten 3, 4 drones easily, and maybe more. And then the second thing is that initial move out, that +1 armor move out with the Goliaths, trying to preserve them as much as possible, which I think they were just a little ambushed last game. So we'll see what happens. We shall see. We have the first factory going down now. Dudes are off the gas, so we're going to be expanding. Sorry. Phone. Okay. Phone nonsense complete. We do have an SCV up in the main base of the Zerg. Layer halfway complete. SCV going to come down here and expand for Bete. And we've got our Vultures. So this is where we're approaching the first moment where I think the Vultures can be really effective. You know, obviously, like, when they're out. But we're only doing 4 Zerglings again. So this really is a complete repeat of last game. And here comes the Vulture. And what I want to see, and I'd be okay with him waiting for a couple more as well, but it looks like he is going to be sending this straight across the map. Unfortunately, it runs straight into the Zerglings, and that's going to knock it down to, you know, almost half health, which is a huge bummer, right? Huge bummer, because now the creep colony's up. The Vulture's only halfway across the map. There is a world where maybe he gets the Vulture up into the main base if he's really aggressive with it and tries to get really slippery and tricky. But even then, at half health, and now at 25 health, yeah, he doesn't stand a chance. Okay, so that point, kind of negated. There's still a secondary opportunity for him to do it again if there's only one sunken. Oh, okay. There's an Evo chamber. But if he goes up to like 3 Vultures, he can still get them back behind here and start slinging some of those grenades at the drones and getting some damage. Maybe even getting up into the main, but probably not. But it can at least come here and deny mining. Alright, we have an SCV transfer. We're getting our second factory. We have the armory up. We already have Charon boosters going. So he is doing the same build that he did last time, which is just a little bit of a different style than what I'm familiar with. It has a much earlier armory and a much later second factory in an earlier like machine shop. It's kind of just like remixing all of those. So it's a neat idea. Because you get the Goliaths out much faster. Okay, only 2 Vultures. We do place the barracks down here in the middle of the choke to the natural. Try to limit the avenue of approach there for Zerg. And what do we got going on? We've got more Mutalisk play about to get started. 6 of them about to pop out this time. Holy, half dozen. Alright, here comes the murder of Mutas. Not sure if Bete was able to see him. He was able to see them on the mini-map. But seeing is not the same thing as seeing. Which I think is an Artosis quote. Alright, not wasting any time. Gets them stacked up and goes right in. So he's hitting again when there's only 3 Goliaths. Going to be able to knock out this SCV. Going to delay that factory. And I don't think... Okay, so it looks like maybe he suffered 1 Muta loss. We're starting to get turrets up now. We have 1 down here at the natural. There is a point of vulnerability that the Mutalisk might be able to take advantage of as well. And 1 turret up here in the main. So we're a little light on turrets. Ooh. Oh no, Bete, go get it. Oh no. That drone getting by, so lucky. So lucky. And that's going to be able to allow Quantum to get his 3rd base up. The Mutalists just, you know, shrug off the 2 Vultures that were chilling there. We've got a couple battle SCVs heading down here. And I'm really curious about the spice level of this. This doesn't look like an accident. No, it does not. This looks intentional. Bete's got a plan. Now the Mutalists are coming in here, going to be wiping out this first turret. The Goliaths and Marines are responding. But you know, it doesn't look like enough to scare Quantum away. Quantum's just going to keep poking in and out. Five factories. Maybe a starport up here? No, just another supply depot. Alright, all the turrets have been eliminated. 7 mutas. How many Goliaths we have on screen right now? 8 Goliaths. Now there's a whole grip of them up here though as well. Okay, so we actually look pretty healthy to do our kind of +1 armor push. And it looks like Bete's thinking the same thing. He's going to get some turrets up because he's going to be leaving home. Looks like he's actually still trying to just play defensive here at the natural. Has his Goliath split, which is nice. Ooh, getting a lot of damage there on the Mutalisks. Meanwhile, down here for Zerg, getting a third base up, getting a third gas as well, and a whole bunch of Mutilas. So this is what we fell into last time, right? So last game, there was this whole reserve of Mutalisks at the natural, just slowly building up, and then we lost sight of these guys. And this is what really punished that Goliath push from last game. Be doing a good job of keeping eyes out on the map, sending his Marines up here to the top left, making sure he has full understanding of what the Zerg player is up to. And he is going on full Goliath production mode, 5 at a time. And getting +1 weapons as well. So this is looking pretty good. Now, there is, as we call in the industry, a metric butt ton of Mutalisks sitting here, waiting to pounce. So it looks like, you know, Quantum is comfortable with keeping these back, waiting to take that engagement at his natural, waiting for that push that he is sure is going to come, and then capitalizing on that for a counterattack. But if he waits too long, then these 5 factories that Bete has going full bore might be able to outscale him, especially if we get some science vessels. And here comes the starport now. We'll see if he uses that for science vessels or if he's primarily focused on upgrades. We shall see. Okay. The SCV doing its job down here, carrying some gas. And here comes the Mutas. Quantum Leap doesn't want to wait anymore. Smells blood. Wants to get some of it. Okay, so organizing his control groups, getting some nice stacks. And here we go. This is really kind of anyone's engagement. We'll see what happens. I imagine kind of what Quantum needs to do is just start bleeding units off Bete. He's got all these mutas, but I don't think you want to just full, like, stick them on top of all these things that shoot missiles at them, right? Like, come in, knock out a turret, fly away. Come in, kill a Goliath, fly away. You know? Fly in, break the wrist, walk away. What's that from? I think, what is that, Napoleon Dynamite? Break the wrist, walk away. Okay, so all the Goliaths are now out of the base. Oh, but they're not, because Bete has a metric butt ton of Goliaths. See, this is what I was kind of scared of for Quantum. This worked last game, but there's not enough. He doesn't have that critical mass of massive mutas. I feel like really popping in and flying away is the game plan here. Delay, delay, delay. And now we're starting to get up to science vessels. Okay, I'm starting to like the position here from Bete. Coach Bete, Sensei Bete. Gosh dang it. So it turns out fingering will get you auto-modded. So maybe not the best breaking news joke story to throw on stream. I allowed it through, Escalade. You're good. Alright, here we go. The mutas aren't all coming in at one time. A couple flying deep into these Goliaths. Now this is good. Bete's doing a good job of just staggering his Goliaths back. Looks like hold position. And these mutas are dead. There's no coming back here for Quantum. He is toast. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's so beautiful. Goliaths doing their thing. And you know, in GG to both players. That was a great game. We saw basically the same game twice with different in different universes, right? With just slightly different outcomes. So GG, we're going to go into game number 3. But one of the things I wanted to bring up was I find it so frustrating. Okay, let me allow all your guys' auto-modded chats. Here we go. Yes, thanks, guys. One of the things I wanted to bring up was how intimidating Goliath shots look versus how much damage they do. When Goliaths shoot air, it feels like you are doing so much damage. But I feel like in reality, it's just not the case, right? It takes like a good 1.5 jillion shots to bring down a Mutalisk. You're just like, what the heck? These missiles look so rad. Why aren't they just killing him? Okay, going into game number 3 in this series. It's going to be on Polestar. Polestar. Excellent. Excellent. All right, Quantum Leap, our red Zerg down here in the bottom right. Beat our blue Terran down here in the bottom left. I feel like they had to just swap colors for this last match. So, we'll see if we get 3 games in a row of Mass Muta versus Mass Goliath. I hope so. I do. Is there really a team name missing? See, I completely rely on you guys. Yeah, you're right. To point out all the things wrong with my stream. There you go. Beat representing build disorders. Quantum Leap representing the big naturals. Orville, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome. We're watching some CPL. Tier 3 action. We're watching Quantum Leap against Beat in the Game 3 of this series. It's been an absolute banger. Alright, we're going Extractor, we're going Spawning Pool. This is actually a deviation, right? The past 2 games we've been seeing Quantum Leap go for early hatchery, right? He'd throw down a 12 hatch, and then he'll throw down his Spawning Pool, then he'll go Extractor, Layer, Beetless, all that jazz. But it looks like he's going for maybe like a fast Zergling speed. That's kind of what comes to mind right now. And he might just go for full kind of Zealot run-in. Not Zealot. Did I say Zealot? I meant Zergling. Ugh. Got Protoss on the mind, you know? Meanwhile, Beat also mixing things up. Not going for mech. Oh man, both these players waited for the last match of their series to just completely change up what they're doing. SCV hanging out here. Oh, okay. He's seeing the 6 Zerglings. Okay, so this is something I've been trying to work on. When you see a 9 poolish Zergling rush, what do? What's the reaction? I don't know. This is the appropriate reaction. What I normally do is die immediately. I think we were watching a Wolfix game the other day on stream, and he pulled 5. He pulled 5 SCVs, clogged up the ramp, and that was kind of like the number that he used. So I'm going to go with that. Right now we've got 6 here for Beat. Got to be careful, some of them not on hold position. Quantum just pushing through anyway, but we do have 3 Marines, which is pretty good. And that's going to completely schwack the Zerglings. We got 4 more on the way, but that's not going to be enough. And I think a counterattack might be possible here from Beat. This was a good hold. Straight up denied. Hold on, let me allow through some fingering messages in the chat, because Automod hates that word. Okay, here come the Zerglings. But yeah, there's too many Marines. Straight up held. Oh, and Quantum Leap GG's! Beat, congratulations. Beat's going to take that into a 2-1 victory. Oh, man. Some of these GGs, we saw some kind of yesterday, too, really give the impression that they had something to go do. Like, hey, like, I'm going to rush, and if it doesn't work, like, I got to go pick up the kids or something, you know? There seems to be a lot of that. What am I doing? I'm trying to look for this. Where's Beat? Beat's on the left. So he gets the save. Boom. Beat 2-1 over Quantum. Next up, we get to watch Dada versus Nice. We're going to get a second TVZ series today. But the Zerg's going to be on Build Disorders, and the Terran's going to be on Big Naturals, known for their wonderful personality. So that's going to be the big difference here. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up with Dada versus Nice One. We're going to be on Knockout. It's going to be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Knockout. Boom. We got Dada. Big Daddy himself. It's a nice one. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, so up here in the top left on Knockout, we do have Big Daddy, our Zerg player. You guys can't see crap, can you? Dang it. Someone said don't tell him. Here's the game scene. Here's what we're talking about, guys. Alright, anyway, you didn't miss anything. But up here in the top left, we've got Big Daddy himself, Blue Zerg, representing the build disorders. And then down here in the bottom right, we've got Nice One, representing the Big Naturals, known for their wonderful personality as the Red Terran. So we get more TVZ, but we get it with a little bit of a different flavor, with a different sauce, with a little less beat, a little less quantum, and a whole lot of data. And Nice One. Yeah, he's the Nice One. There is no room in this community for more than one. Hold on, let me allow through a fingering message in chat. There you go. Alright, little extractor trick going on here. Getting a 9 pool. So maybe we'll see Dada run across the map with 6 Zerglings. They'll die on the ramp, and he'll GG. That's what we're looking for here, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Terran dream. You're not a mod, Esk. You're not a mod. Dude, the extractor trick is... it just feels cool. It feels cool. And I've mentioned it before. I played Zerg in like when I was a kid. And I remember like middle school, high school, I would do the extractor trick and I'd be like, oh man, I'm so ahead. I'm so slick. And then I would use like my other 2 APM that I had to remember to like actually make drones. Alright, so here we go. Data moving out with 6 Zerglings, building an expansion behind it. Let me go ahead and allow a message through the auto mod. You guys are killing me. We need like a slang term for fingering in chat so that it's not distracting. How about poking? Yeah, try fisting. Let's see if that works. Something hand related. Okay, so bunker being thrown down here at the natural. Nope, that didn't work, Esk. And the Zerglings went to the wrong base. Oh no! So he kind of he had a 50-50 shot. His Overlord went down to the bottom left. He saw that there was nothing there, and so he just took his Zerglings, went to the top right, which is probably the best bet, right? If you're gonna have to guess for the one that's closer, so that you know, if you do hit, you're still hitting at the earliest possible timing. Running right by the bunker. This is one of the risks of having that bunker down and being your sole defense against the Zergling run by, because we didn't see the SCVs go plug the ramp. So Nice One. I've been here, brother. I know how this feels. Nice One doing a good job of shuffling his SCVs around, making them hard targets. Meanwhile, Dada looks like he's chasing an SCV up here. Oh no, he's sending out drones. Oh, but he's also chasing an SCV. Now, I'm keeping an eye out and seeing if there's more Zerglings that are going to come reinforce this. It doesn't seem like it. Dada seems comfortable with getting the damage that he can with these 6, but not denying his economy. Thinking like, hey, if this kills, it kills. If I can just get as much damage as I can and get, you know, gain that advantage, getting the natural, you know, saturated, teching up is going to be advantageous over the long run. But look at all this lost mining time. SCVs having to scatter all over the place, chase down these lings. We've got 3 Marines in the base now, and it's pretty much just evolved into chaos over here. Ooh, nice pick on that Marine. Okay. Whole lot of SCVs busy. This is really frustrating as a Terran player. Having to try to get these guys all back doing what they're supposed to be doing. Not dying. You've got hurt Marines all over the place. 2 Zerglings left. This is going to get cleaned up. Good lord, Escalade. Okay. Let's go check out what Zerg is going on. So we do have a 3rd hatchery coming down at the natural for Dada. He is also going up to lair. Now these 2 drones, I was wondering if after they killed the SCV, if he'd be thinking about getting an expansion, going up to a 3rd. He definitely has the money to do so right now, but he might be waiting for this layer to finish and immediately start going into Spire, banking up that gas, and getting Mutalisks. Right now, I think Nice One isn't really in a position to counter. He's going to have to turtle up a little. Needs to get this expansion up and running. And something he also, is likely keeping an eye on is this clock. Right? Because he had the 9 pool, so he knows he might have a little bit more time. But generally, around that 6-minute mark, you need to have some turrets. Because that's when the Mutalisks are going to come, and they're going to want to play. Second gas. And there's the Spire. Alright, so everything is a little bit behind because of the early pressure that Dada was putting on to Nice One. Ooh, look at that Queen's Nest. Very spicy. Looking like we're about to go up to some very early hive tech. Stim on the way. Everything just really behind right now for Nice One. He is getting the eBay. He's likely going to be spending pretty much all of his money being thrown into turrets. Still sitting on 1 barracks. Right now, I really like Dada's position. But he needs to continue to get damage or maybe even expand. Like, keep this advantage rolling. So, Queen's Nest is out. And all this tech is being seen by Nice One. Nice One's seeing the Queen's Nest. He's seeing the Spire. And he's probably thinking, crap. Time to build some turrets. He has 1 going down here at the natural. He already has 1 in the main. And he's getting a 2nd barracks. I'm trying to think, like, what do you do? Just turtle up and hope for some efficient engagements? Do you try to do some sort of comeback mechanic Hail Mary, like a drop of sorts? I don't know. Do you just say GG? 4 mutas on the map. Dada double expanding. 1 here at the 9 o'clock. 1 down in the bottom left main. And it looks like Dada is preparing to potentially come in with Mutalisks. And then a 2nd pronged attack with Zerglings. Which would be really cool and it's fun to see. Because if he goes into the main with mutas and he starts getting some really effective damage, one of the things that Nice One might end up trying to do is, well, let's get the Marines from the bunker. Get on in there, buddy. And that's when Dada's going to be like, not today. And he's going to send these Zerglings in. That's my prediction. Alright, now as all my predictions go, they're always wrong. So Dada's going to hit the natural with the mutas. 3 turrets in a bunker here, not bad. Now if he can sneak by this, but ultimately the turret coverage is pretty decent. Okay, so Dada now going to have to loop around down the bottom portion of this Terran base. Going to be knocking out the SCV to delay the factory. Going to kill the turret. Gonna start schwacking this bio. Gotta be careful though. Let's check on this bunker. Ah, they're still there. No time for the Zerglings yet. We'll see if that prediction pans out. Gonna come back in here, continue delaying this factory. Ooh, but taking a lot of damage on these mutas. Down to 9. But delaying turrets, delaying factory, chipping away at this bio force. And remember, Dada's still pretty ahead when it comes to like economy and everything, right? So he can be a little inefficient with these trades, but now that he's on top of this mineral line, there's nothing that's shooting up. He's got 6 Mutalisks. This is looking to be a bad day for our Terran friend. Okay, Meanwhile, bottom left, starting to get up and running. 9 o'clock. We have drones chilling. More drones chilling. So we've got lots of drones. And we're going up to Ultra Defiler. Holy crap. So Dada just needs to keep Nice One busy. Just needs to keep him at home. And then a full Ultra push might be the killing blow. Okay. What do you do? What do you do as Nice One? Chat, if you all were Nice One, how would you come back from this? I think science vessels are a great idea, actually. What is this? Okay. We have a hatchery explosion. So we're going up to 4 hatcheries in the main. We've got 2 down here. So that's 6, 7, 8 hatcheries. Alright, now Terran's moving out. Mixing in vultures to this attack. Now, the vultures, they're still slow, right? Tech is a little bit wonky because of the pressure. But the vultures can be able to bounce around and try to chip away at Dada's various bases. Like, Nice One has to know that there's bases all over the place. We know that he's scanned a few times. Whoops, wrong vision. But either way, he's got to know that there's bases. And so getting damage on these drones, just chipping away on that, is a really good step towards coming back in this game. Start hitting the economy, and then be as efficient as possible with your fights. Like, you got to fight well. So right here, knocking out the 9 o'clock base, getting some drones on top of it, not a bad start. Not a bad start for Nice One at all. He's going to need a lot more, but hey, you got to do something. This is step 1. Okay. Gonna kill this extractor. And we got a lot of Zerg just floating across the map. We've got these defilers just completely crawling all the way across. Look at this. Just a stream of blue down to the bottom right. Got some drones heading back home. This is definitely a rally. Ultralist just like, come on, hurry up, Zergling. Yeah, we just have units everywhere. Alright. Oh, Darps. Oh, Wraiths! Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have the DPS needed from the Wraiths. But that's another cool idea too, right? Oh man, okay. Nice One is just dead. Dark Swarm, Ultras. What do we have here to fight? We got some Fire Bats, we've got some Marines, getting some more Vultures, we got the Wraith. That's right, Fire Bats are like, your Dark Swarm means nothing to me. I was born in the Dark Swarm. And the Ultras are just going ham through this base. That's right, we still have a bunch of mutas on the field too. Okay. So I think Nice One's dead. I don't think he's gonna make it. Yep, there it goes. He agrees. GG. That was a fun one. I want to see the next game though, because this was an example of what happens to Terran when those initial 6 Zerglings come in to your base. And it's really, really annoying. It's like, okay, I guess I lose now. So that's kind of what happened. I want to see Nice One get a real full game in against Dada, and that's what I'm hoping for in this next map. So let's go into game number 2. Game number 2 is going to be on Radion, another 4-player map. On the scoreboard, we're going to call it Radion. We're going to actually let you guys see the first few seconds of the match. I know how much you guys all love watching mining. Alright, so down here in the bottom right, we've got Nice One. Down here in the bottom left, we've got Dada. Now, Dada immediately sending his Overlord to the bottom right. He is going to get that initial scout. And so last game, we saw the Zealot... Damn, I keep calling them Zealots. We saw the Zergling pressure. It was successful, but what we also saw was Dada send the Zerglings preemptively to the opposite corner, not crossbomb, but the opposite corner from where his Overlord went, blindly, right? So that cost him several seconds on getting those Zerglings back down to Nice One's actual base. With the Overlord getting the first scout, if Dada does the same thing again, and Nice One does the same thing again, there may be another window of opportunity where he hits even earlier than he did last game. So we'll see if he does that. Who knows? Checking chat now. See what you guys are talking about. See a 6-7 joke. That should be a bannable offense. Alright. Doesn't look like anything for me to pass through the auto mod, so that's good. You guys are behaving. Alright, we got Supply Depot down. Gonna see Barracks go down. I might need to cut it after this series, guys. I might need to come back later and do the next one. Unexpected events have occurred. Alright, so we do have the spawning pool. We did the extractor trick. It looks like the same build. This looks like it could be the same dang thing. And it looks like it can be more effective. We'll see if this Overlord gets over here in time. We do have the Zerglings already about to pop. Oh, he's going to see the SCV. Okay, so he sees the SCV. And so now Dada can likely send these straight to the bottom right. There's no wall. This SCV didn't see the Zerglings yet. He will. He will, though. He's going to the right location. Okay, so... No, Dada, where are you going? Okay, it looks like he was actually trying to dodge this scout. Oh, no! This is giving him enough time to move the SCVs. Okay, Dada's going to still come in, though. There's only one Marine. He can still get several SCVs in this situation. But good for Nice, right? Nice One was able to prevent the horrendous damage that occurred last game. Beautiful, beautiful. Textbook hold there. All right, very cool. It's fun learning how to play Terran. Yeah, and he's going to lose this Overlord as well. It's fun learning how to play Terran because against Zerg, you can just die to this, right, all the time. And then against Protoss, learning how to deal with your first, like, just Zealot that walks in your base that can kill you is a fun one to learn. These are like F level, E level learning points that can still get you even beyond that, right? Like, Nice One, I'm not saying he is that, but it's just something that you always have to be prepared for as Terran. Alrighty. Dada sitting stuck at 10 of 10. Losing that Overlord, a little bit of a pain in the ass. Is going up to a third base, though. We'll keep an eye on this one, because this base can be pretty vulnerable. And it's usually something that, like, Terrans are looking for after the whole muta portion of the game. And they have their initial kind of group of medic marine. If they hit the natural and there's a bunch of sunkens, they're just like, alright, well, what's over here at the third? Let's see if we can kill that. Okay, so we are slapping down a pretty early sunken. We're at 7 Marines now. I don't see an academy. It looks like, okay, yeah, it is being built. Yeah, you're right, noob. Dada's got freaking astronomical APM for tier 3. Alright, so we do have a sunken colony down. Layer almost complete. Okay, SCV dies. So, Nice One's not going to actually see the Spire go down, which is something that you want to try to keep that SCV alive to do. If you can. It's always really tricky. Got some lings over here, third hatchery. So we're going into kind of a 3-hatch muta transition. Now, the academy's done. We've got stim. I'm curious to see if Nice One starts slapping down some scanners, starts getting a couple of medics. It's not uncommon at this point to get like your first 2 medics and then just move out. But that would be kind of a little bit of like a pre-muta timing. He may wait for the mutas to come first. Get some turrets up, make sure he has a solid defense, which mitigates kind of the risk of moving out with your units, them all dying. Then the mutas just come and clean up. So overall, pretty standard stuff. Going up to 3 barracks right now. We see a scan, whoops, right here on the main. So Nice One's going to know the Spire is almost complete, that it's not done yet, and it's 6.5 minutes in, right? So this is a little bit of the effect of going 3 hatch, and also an effect of building as many lings that were built as early as they were, as well as the sunken. So a lot of money has been spent, so the mutas are going to be a little bit delayed. So honestly, I really like Nice One's position right now. Nice One's looking good. He's got a solid grip of bio. He's going to have a bunch of turrets coming up. I think he's got 3 here at the natural. A few more up here. 3 racks. He's getting range and +1 weapons. This looks good. This looks good. Is Dada going for a 4th? Man, I hope so. Looks like he is. Oh, Dada just going for a long macro game here. Gosh, dang it, Escalade. What didn't I finger on the scoreboard? I thought I fixed the scoreboard. Except for the score. That part. Ugh, there you go. Fixed it, Escalade. Thank you. Still not a mod. All right, here we got a 4th base going up for Dada, and now here come the Mutalisks. So we have the initial 5 Mutalisks, but they're coming in at 8 minutes, right? So I don't think there's going to be much to get done here. I think there's going to be a second timing later once all these hatcheries are online, where Dada's going to really be able to kind of power up. But right now, I feel like Nice One is really the one that has the commanding army. Now, to be fair, supplies are a little even. I don't know. I'd like to see something get thrown in this bunker. +1 attack almost complete for our Terran player. Factory being constructed in the main base. Now, it looks like Dada might be also going into that Ultra play again. We do have the Queen's Nest already constructed. See, and there's nothing in this bunker. Oh no. Alright. 4 turrets just going ham on these Mutalisks. Not a single one dies because, you know, Zerg. And then we have 4 more turrets laying into them. And they're starting to take a good amount of damage now. Down to 9 Mutalisks, but now he's starting to open up on the workers. Needs to scoot him back just a little bit. Marines are closing in from all sides. We're down to 7. Mutalisk 6. All the rest are in the yellow or red. Oh my gosh, is he going to kill all of them? No, but it knocks out 9? 8? I think it was 8, right? Because there was a full 11. Wow, that was a lot of damage for our bat-winged friends there. Our scary flying shrimp. So Dada really focusing on getting his economy up. He's got a bunch of money. He's going up to Hive. He's got a ton of larva. And what I'm waiting for is when the Hive is complete and he just builds like 15 Ultralisks and just yeets them. But we'll see if he can get to that point because you know what? The bio is on the map. Nice one. He's got this nice Congo line of Marines. Look at them just marching along. Like the 7 dwarves. Hi-ho! 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 Off to kill Zerg we go. Sorry, I'll never do that again. All right, 4 sunken colonies here at the 3rd base. Make that 5. You know what? Make it 6. We don't want Marines in here, is the story. They finished just on time. The Marines are going to come in. They're stimmed up. They've got all the juice. Oh no, coming in here, getting hit by multiple at a time. Not quite enough to maybe break the... I don't know, actually. So this is why one of the reasons I suck so bad in TVZ is I have no idea, like, the heuristics or the power of a group of bio. I look at this and I think that can't kill anything. And then he just kills 6 sunken colonies. He's going to wipe out this base. Alright, so the 3rd base is going to go down. Maybe. More Zerglings are coming up here to reinforce. But he is starting to focus down the hatchery. Come on, just focus it down. Get it down, kill it, nice one. Do it for us, Terrans. Oh, and he gets it. Now, there is a Queen's Nest here. But opting to kill the Extractor. Cool, cool. Now, we're building up more bio. We do have tanks out on the field now. And Dada is getting to his comfortable state. He's got his Comfort Cavern being thrown down. Going to get his Angry Elephants out on the map. See, like, again, the bio is still just crushing. I have no idea how strong bio is. This is +1 weapons. It's insane. Yeah, the medic block was pretty good. I'd like to see, like, a super souped up Starcraft AI play. You know, like, a program that plays it absolutely perfectly. Use medics to just shield everything against, like, a human player. Because I'm sure there is wild micro opportunity if you could. Alright, so we're going up to 7 Sunkens here. Boatload of Zerglings. We're really conserving our gas. Now we do have the Defiler. Consume is not complete yet. And we have super mucho Marines running across the map. This is like half a keyboard worth of hotkeys of bio. Alright, we're starting to eat ourselves. Here we go. So we're ready to defend. And honestly, like, these can sit here and defend for days with Dark Swarm. Now, the big problem is, though, is that on Terran's side, he does have some science vessels, and that's going to be a big pain. Also, he's just going to drop not here. Oh, man. Another couple of, what do you call these, hatcheries on the way. He is going to see this coming in. There's only a little bit of Zerglings here to defend. Nice little drop. No medics. Oh, no, there is a medic. Okay, they're going to get right back in. They're going to get right back in and fly over here. Keeping all the Zerglings over here and posing a threat while he's hitting the top left with the primary Bioforce. Nice one. Looking like a machine this game. Is going to knock down another base. And this is going to put Zerg down on 2 base. Meanwhile, Terran's been on 2 base this whole time as well. Ooh, but now we've got Ultras. Let's see how Nice One's Science Vessel play is. Here we go. We're going to come in. We're going to start irradiating something. That guy. Alright. We're irradiating things. So, Ultralisk not really engaging anything at the moment, which is a little unfortunate when they're irradiated. Did we lose the dropship? I got distracted. I mean, there's nothing that shoots up, right? Where'd it go? Alright, Marines slowly creeping forward. It's time for the tanks to come in here. Start laying siege to all these Sunkens. Start doing a ton of damage to these Ultralisks. And use the Marines and medics to just protect until that final bit where you juice them all up and you send them in. Looking good in the hood. Now these Defilers need to start throwing down some swarms. Swarm! Nice. Swarm! Nice! Now the Ultralists are going to be able to come in here and start cleaning up. This is, okay, this is a good way to push back the Terran. Now, I do want to point out, though, that Zerg only has 14 drones and is at 49 supply. So, like, yeah, this engagement's cool and all, but there's no money coming in. So, there's not much sustainability behind this. And if we can't keep Dark Swarms on these Ultras, they will go down. Especially, I was just going to say, especially if Nice One continues to produce Science Vessels. Yeah, I think we're at the end. There's really not much left for Dada. The Terran force has gotten pretty dang big. And now the Science Vessels are going to start coming in. Spanking things. All right, yeah, GG. Okay, so we're at 1-1. And I you know, I got what I asked for. I wanted to see Nice One play, right? The game before, the 9 pool, really kind of got in the way of that, and that made me sad. Okay, so we're at 1-1 in this series. Let's go ahead and go into game numero 3. And again, like I said, I'm gonna have to go after this series. So we're not going to be watching the... What is the one on there? H-Meyer versus who knows. So we'll come back and finish that one later. But we're going to finish off today's stream with Dada versus Nice One Game 3. So I apologize for that. We'll have to come back and knock it out, or maybe I'll make a VOD later and just post it. Feel like I owe it. Owe it to y'all. Here we are in game number 3. Let me do the scorecard. I already did. I think this is Polestar, so we're just gonna go with it. Yo, what is that? Squidmans! Thank you! Thank you for following. We're watching some CPL. Alright, so down here in the bottom right, we got Dada in the red representing the build disorders. I think he's the captain? I don't know. Up here in the top left, Nice One as our blue Terran, representing the big naturals, known for their wonderful personality. What is this Escalade that you highlighted? Stage didn't want to answer, but Manshark will. Do you prefer bouncing and round boobas or banana style and firm? Good Lord, Escalade. I'll tell you off stream. This is a professional stream, man. I've got like a job. Can't have coworkers finding this and me talking about all these things. That reminds me, though, I do need to probably finger. Hands are getting a little tight. Oh. Cowardly said the same thing. Let's talk about bananas, though. It does get me hungry. I don't think I ate breakfast. Anyway, so Dada going up here. Looks like he's going to be going straight into a hatchery, which he already did. But I was distracted by all the questions in the chat. Really valid questions. Just wrong venue. We have the barracks. We're starting off with a wall here. So the wall is cool, but I actually think it's less effective at defending the 9-pool pressure that we've seen the last 2 games. It's tougher to get SCVs to in a timely manner if you don't scout really early. It's farther away from reinforcing in the event that the Zerglings do get up in the main. But if you do effectively wall it off and you park some shit here in the holes, then yeah, I guess you can be fine. Luckily, that's not what's happening this game. Dada is going the hatchery first, getting the 12 pool. Oh, we got a bunker! Here we go, guys. Spice level just turned up to jalapeno. We've got additional SCVs. We've got the first Marine in here. Hatchery, gonna get finished. right there. It's finished. We got a second bunker on the way before the creep can get in the way. We have a SCV up here blocking the ramp. The one game Dada doesn't go early Zerglings. Nice one punishes by slapping down some bunkers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Dada, you're saying the same thing in chat. You're just like, the one time. The one freaking time. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at this. Oh, hatchery's so screwed. But you know what? Nice one. He's like, maybe I can bebop on into the main. Or maybe I can take out this sunken. I actually really like this sunken placement. Gonna be able to shoot across the hatchery if it survives. And it's really forcing Nice One to try to get out and target it. Because, you know, if your Marines are in a bunker, you can't target what the bunker shoots at. It just shoots his stuff. But luckily he does have the SCVs here. Is going to be able to repair this all day, every day. But there are enough Zerglings to where it looks like... I think Dada's going to be fine. I think Dada's going to be just okay. And he's got to go soon because this hatchery's about to die. Alright, he commits with the Zerglings, gets a full surround here, knocks out the SCVs, which is a cool move. Oh! But he just sends them by. Now, I think the Sunken, yeah, the Sunken's going to out-damage the one SCV. Now, there is another bunker. Oh, is it going to die? Oh! Oh my gosh, Nice One changes targets. He changes targets. Kill the hatchery, man. Oh my gosh, it's at 19. This is insane. No, no, Nice One, please just kill the hatchery. No. Oh, and I know Dada's just sitting there like, yes, thank you. That is insane. Okay, well, maybe there's an opportunity here, like, in the near future to just, like, I don't know, build a Wraith or something and just shoot it twice. Okay, so that was really expensive for Nice One. So the whole game is kind of just behind its normal timeline. We do have a lot of Zerglings out. Got a good amount of Marines, though, too. We have a hatchery on life support. Oh my gosh. That was wild. Absolutely wild. You know, it's so fun to be on the receiving end of that, though. And what I mean is, like, it's so fun to be the person with the command center or the hatchery that survives an engagement on, like, 2 health. Oh! You just feel like a master. You're just like, yeah, I defended with the exact amount. Whatever. No waste here. Ain't no entropy in this system. Alright, so we got Zerglings hanging out outside the natural. More Zerglings heading up here, chasing around SCV. Now, the SCV is getting some really important information. He is identifying that there's no third, which I feel like is kind of a given the fact that he bunker rushed the natural and kind of contained everything in there. But he did see this drone about to start a third, so I like that Dada moved it. He was like, okay, you caught me. I'll go somewhere else. So, likely going to start that when he has the funds up here at the 3 o'clock. Nice one going into factories. We're doing a mech transition. Interesting. We do have the Spire. We have the Hydralisk dead. Alright, so many freaking bone things. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so back up here, getting a bunker here at the natural. Going 3 factory. We're really going all in here. It's like we took the game and we just like destroyed the first 4 minutes of it and restarted. And now it looks like we're going into a little bit of a Goliath build, I think. Yeah, we are getting Goliaths. We're having to prepare for these Mutalisks. But Dada's also building Hydralisks, which have not been seen yet in this series. So this series has generally been Mutalisk harassment, you know, when it gets past like the Zergling stage. So early Zergling pressure, Muta harassment, Ultralisks. Dada really seems to like his Ultralisks. We get a scan on the main. We are seeing the Hydra Den. Right? So this is probably going to inspire... dang it. Nice one to get the scanners up, which he already has. But maybe start for earlier Science Vessel. Maybe to prepare against some Lurkers. I don't know. We shall see. We also, from Dada's perspective, Dada only just found out that he's going Goliaths. So early on, he got hit by a bunker rush, saw a bunch of bio out on the map, but wasn't really keen to the fact there's 3 factories up in here. So this is a little bit of a surprise, and we'll see if he transitions away from kind of that Lurker tech, or if he continues to go more towards that and increased Hydralisk counts. So we are still sitting at 3 bases. We got crazy map vision going on here for Dada. He's just got dudes everywhere. Love to see it. No surprises. $32 to 26 workers. Dada's got a ton of gas. Very gassy. That is gassed up. More bunker here in the main. Turrets. Almost no army. He's got 6 Goliaths and a tank. This is a weird game. It's weird seeing a game transition out of a bunker rush. Now, the Sunken Colony is pissing Dada off. It's messing up his mining, so he's going to go ahead and kill that. Replace them over here towards the front of the natural. Yeah, both players only sitting with about a 30 supply of army. So they're both kind of they're both like scraping themselves up from the Stone Age right now. Okay, so I was curious earlier if the scouting information would kind of change Dada's plan. It doesn't really seem like it. I think we're still going to see the move towards Ultralisks later. That's a guess. Dada seems really comfortable with that. He's got some evolution chambers up for the upgrades. But he's also still going into the Hydralisk. I think we saw 8 being morphed there at one point. Starting to build those numbers up. And Nice One is getting continuous scans out here. So he just saw this. Dang it. Every time I'm wrong. So he saw additional hatcheries, saw the Evo chambers, he saw the Hydra Den. And I think he's thinking, okay, that's a lot of stuff building. It's a lot of tech. Maybe move out? Or maybe just expand. I don't know. This game's entered a weird territory for me. I think both players are just kind of making decisions on the fly at the moment. Oh my gosh! Snuck over there and got the drone. Now remember, Dada was originally going to expand here, but it was seen by the SCV, so he repositioned to here. So that's what Nice One was looking for. Nice One was looking for the expansion he thought was already out here, but ended up catching the drone that was after the fact. Alright, Vulture's just getting some scouting done. Just looking around, clearing out some of this vision that I was praising Dada for earlier. And it looks like Nice One's also going to be going up and getting his own third base started. So these players really looking to kind of build up a little bit. Licking their wounds after the initial rush. I almost feel like we're kind of past that point now. And I would expect a little bit more engagements to occur. We're up to 5 factories. We have a starport. When it comes to upgrades, we are at +1 attack, +1 armor for the Terran underway. And it looks like we're getting a couple of upgrades here for Zerg as well. We're going to be going up to 1-1. about simultaneously. So we'll see if that triggers anything. Ooh, mines. I think Swoops is here. Swoops was saying he was having nightmares about mines after the series that were cast yesterday. Okay, 4th base being attempted again for Dada. Getting science facility up. Alright, another scan. Looks like he scanned the natural this time. So he's going to see the Hydralisks being built up. Okay, now we're getting to some excitement. Okay, we've got Hydralisks out on the map. We've got Vultures going, looking for additional expansions to beat up. Coming in here, getting impaled by these freaky looking flowers. Actually, are these flowers? Do we think sunken colonies are a plant or meat based? Second question, can a plant be meat based? Like, can you have a meat plant? I'm sure you can. That'd be so cool. Just have, like, go outside, pick some fresh bacon. All right. Escalade, can you tell me definitely that you cannot have a meat plant? I'm not talking flavor either. I know, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. Okay, is this patrol? Or are we actually moving towards something? It is patrol. Holy crap. So we have essentially set up the giant red wall of Dada here with just a bunch of Hydralisks and Mutalisks. Nothing is crossing this line. This is his line in the sand. Meanwhile, we've got some mines and a vulture over here. More vultures moving out. Okay, whole bunch of shit moving out. Got a whole recycling bin of mech coming straight into this wall. I feel like he's about to play Frogger. Like, I feel like there's portions of this patrol that are scarier than others. Like if he goes now. he could skip on through there. Actually, this would be a great place to drop some mines. Yeah, there we go. All right. Looks like Nice One has got his control groups all happy honky-dory, and he's starting to charge through. Setting up siege tanks here in the middle. He's taking the middle of the map. Is he going to be expanding up here? I don't know. What I do know is that the wall of Dada has come down, and the Tin Can Army has established itself in the middle. So Zerg needs to be a little bit careful at this point from getting like this base isolated and cut off from the rest. Now Dada has expanded up the right side. And it's a little bit in the expansion path of Nice One as well. So I imagine a lot of the engagements are going to take place obviously here, kind of towards the center, but also kind of like in this area as both these players start fighting over these bases in the top right. Okay, Vultures trying to come in here, trying to get those mines, trying to seal off and get some harassment damage up here. But this is a metric F-load of Hydralisks. You know what Hydralisks suck against? Mines, baby! Okay, only a couple go down. Oh, no! No! Could you imagine being there in person? Standing in front of all these giant, crazy, loogie-spitting worms, and then it just explodes, and there's just like meat raining down everywhere. Disgusting. I think there was... What was that movie? I don't remember what it was. Never mind. I feel like there's a joke in a movie about that. I think they're like blowing up a whale on a beach or something, and it went horribly wrong. Maybe it was Starship Troopers. That's even like more appropriate. Okay, so this is the problem I was talking about, right? If Terran is able to cut off this supply route and isolate both this base and the top right, Dada is going to be in a lot of trouble. And it looks like Nice One's actually starting to make that happen. This engagement area right here is not going well for our Zerg player. These siege tanks just getting tons of kills on these Hydras. Now, eventually, it looks like no. I mean, Dada's not going to be able to push through this yet. He did kill all the, like, chaff, right? So now he needs something to jump on these tanks. And here come the Mutas. Okay, beautiful second punch here. Had the little bit of the inefficient Hydralisk attack. Now going to be able to be hyper efficient with these Mutalisks. Just needs to watch out for some of these Goliaths. They're going to be able to pick off some of these that have been weakened by the Irradiates. And we're going in for round number 2. But this time, there are, let me double check my notes, 9 tanks here. Remember, I called it. I said, this is going to be where they fight. Of course, it's, you know, probably as easy to guess that as like, what's the letter after A? Now, if only I could predict things when I play my own games. Alright. Hydralisk about to go find some mines with their faces. And for the moment, Dada has stabilized. And in all that engagement, he hasn't been losing, like, workers. Oh, maybe he lost a couple. I didn't see really what the siege tanks were shooting up here. It felt like it was mostly... Oh, my God. Mostly Hydralisks. Oh, okay. Well, now he's going to start losing workers. But the Mutas and the Sunken clean that up pretty quick. Not too big of a deal. Okay. We've been watching a lot of fighting. Let's catch up on where we're at with kind of like tech and direction of the players. We've got Adrenal Glands starting, so the Zerglings are out there taking crack. That'll be done soon. We're going up to 3/3 upgrades for our Hydralisks. And when it comes to production, we've got 4 hatcheries, 5, 6, 7, 8 hatcheries for our Zerg player, and 5 mining bases. Now for Terran, we're really sticking heavy to the mech idea. We're sitting at 2-1, going up to 3-1. 3 bases mining, but 4 bases total. Doesn't look like we're really mining at the main anymore. And the composition's largely Science Vessel, Goliath, Tank. Cool. I feel caught up. Actually, what are we looking at with factories? Looks like we're at 7 factories, 2 starports. So I think the biggest like event we're waiting for when it comes to composition, next things that are going to be occurring, is this Defiler Mound. The Defiler Mound is going to be really powerful. Especially if we start incorporating some lurkers. I don't know, I just feel like as Terran, when I have a metric F-ton of tanks, and I see Defilers coming in, I'm not too scared of Hydralisks. Like, in general, I'm way more scared of, like, a ton of Zerglings running all over the place with Dark Swarm than I am of Hydralisks. Alright, looking for some more Vulture run-bys. Nice One's been really active with these Vultures. I'd love to see it. There's no defenses up here either. He's going to need to probably pull some Mutalisks. Oh no, I'd like to see these Vultures target these workers. Only 46 drones for our Zerg player right now. Getting some tanks established here too, so we're going for that isolation. We're looking to cut off this top right again. But Nice One is starting a little bit smaller. He's starting higher up on the map. Looking to not just isolate this base and the top right, but just focusing on the top right. Nice D-matrices here, which I think is probably more effective than trying to irradiate individual Hydralisks. But unfortunately, a lot of tanks do die there. And I don't think a whole lot of workers were really schwacked up here. We're still at 46. But the attack continues. Nice One's not done. Dada's making Defilers. He's getting increased melee upgrades. Currently at 3 Carapace. Oh man, but Dada does not have the concentration of forces right now to push this attack back. We'll see how much damage it can do to this base. Or is there a counter? What's going on here? No, it looks like he's just consolidating forces, trying to do some damage to this Terran army in the top right. A couple D-Matrix Goliaths. Actually a really strong move. Nice D-Matrix there on the tank as well. D-Matrix is just amazing. It increases the survivability of a unit, like, absurdly. It's so good. Nice efficient trade here. Don't want to lose this Defiler for free. I don't think it's cast anything yet. Like, look at this. Like, this thing's just been sitting here with this D-Matrix for days. And it will eventually die. Okay, so Dada's doing a really good job of maintaining his ability to reinforce this base. We do have a potential eraser attempt going on here, I think. But it does fade away. Man, I am just so happy I called that the main focus of this game would be this piece of terrain. Look at that. Turns out if you watch just hundreds and hundreds of hours of Starcraft, you might catch a thing or two. That reminds me. Finger break, guys. Start fingering. Physical health is no joke, gamers. Okay, so earlier I was talking about how Hydralisks aren't scary when you have this composition. We just saw it right there, right? There was a bunch of Hydras under the Dark Swarm, and the tanks still kill them. Like, yeah, it takes a few more shots or whatever, but whatever. As long as you can do some damage, no big deal. Okay, that was not a happy moment for Zerg. The tanks on the high ground there ultimately pretty much just cleaned up the army that was existing for Dada. This is a scary moment for Dada, I think. This is a moment where you may want to consider, okay, this base might be gone. What damage can I get done somewhere else? Or where can I expand to replace it? But what you want to prevent is any type of ice, like, contain and whack-a-mole effect. And right now he's not completely contained, but this base looks dead. Okay, cool. Cool. Now, what do we got going on when it comes to production tab? We've got 13 Hydralisks popping out for Dada. For our Terran player, we've got a drop ship. Beautiful. We're at +3 weapons, going up to +2 armor. And we're maintaining the Goliath tank, science vessel, and incorporating more vultures into play as well. Keep those mines out there since the composition has been very, very Hydralisk heavy. Oh, this is a disgusting move up here. Look at this. Science vessel tanks taking out that top right base is just completely allowed this base to be eliminated. No Mutalisks on the map. A few Mutas would knock this down pretty quick. But, yeah, really cool move here from Nice One. He's going to get this whole base completely as a bonus, as a cherry on top. But now we're starting to see the move, right? There was really kind of two things. Either counterattack where the army's not, or expand and replace what you're losing. And we're going to see two bases go down here for Dada. Keep in mind, this mine right here, which will likely go off as soon as larvae show up. And I love that mines blow up larvae. I think that's so much fun. Oh, get the Defiler hide! Defilers can burrow, right? Like, is that a thing? Like, when you research burrow, Defilers can also burrow? Okay. More Hydralisks running all over the place. Oh, see? Okay, so I was kind of hoping that hatchery would get down, and then the Spider-Man would pop up and blow up on larvae. But because of the early warning there of that mine, Nice One had the vultures available to just send down there and knock it out. So Nice One, I still think, has a pretty strong lead right now. He's down to 2 mining bases, though. And I don't think they're that solidly defended. Like, this is all that's here with some mines. I'd like Dada to bring at least an Overlord around with this. Okay, now if these tanks get up here and start reinforcing these mines, maybe get up here as well, this is going to be a pretty tough nut to crack. Ooh, and that's the tool of choice right now. So Dada changing production, going straight back into mutas for the moment. This is so funny. And look at this. Nice One is expanding up here in the top right behind this. So Nice One has effectively taken up the entire top of the map and is working on taking the 9 o'clock as well. So looking very, very strong. This is tough. This is a tough one for Zerg. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Staged, as well. I feel like maybe sprinkling in some queens, get some broodlings. That's an efficient way to kind of starve out the... Or I guess maintain a low tank count, which is ultimately really punishing on Terran. Then they have to reuse their factory. All the time it takes to get them back, all the gas. And you can see here, Dada is like broke. He's mining on one base. And not even like a non-depleted gas. So I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end of this game. And I think after... Oh man, Nice One's doing such a good job of choosing his targets as well. Coming down here to the bottom left, where these bases were about to be fresh bases, is going to be so much more impactful. Now here come the mutas, trying to get their own denying of Nice One's economy. Ooh, we got 2-3 irradiates on here though. Oh my gosh! The damage! No, our flying shrimp. What, do they got a combined like 20 health between them? Bummer. I'd also like to point out that this hatchery is still alive and kicking. It is now recovered up to 580 HP. Very cool. Okay, that hatchery does go down. This looks rough. This looks rough. Okay, so if you are Dada, what do you do? What do you do? It might be time to GG. I don't know. Because now Terran's entire army is out of position, and this is where things get a little tough. If Dada had more of an economy, I think that's really the big thing, though, is that man is just, he has no money, right? But if he did have money, well, I guess that's not even worth mentioning. That reminds me of like the AJ Firecracker post, you know? If money wasn't an issue, why don't you just bunker rush with ghosts or something like that? Oh man, I missed that guy. Okay, big Dark Swarm, but again, we're using Hydralisks. And mines do pretty well under Dark Swarm as well. Skadoosh! If Terran wasn't soggy. Tisoggy! My goal this year is to get decent enough at Terran that people say Tisoggy as a result of my playstyle. And then if that doesn't work, start streaming Stardew Valley. Because how can you not have a nice time playing Stardew Valley? You know, it's like it's probably the game that is the most opposite from Brood War. It's like chill, everything's happy, it's not that frustrating. All right, Dada, what's the plan? What's the plan, Dada? It's on you. It's on you to come back. Positioning and base denial. All right, good plan. So right now, Terran is down here, out of position. So if there was a time to try to deny some base, it would be now. There's hardly any tanks here. Holy shit. Was there an opportunity for you to come up here and kill all the production? Like, legitimately, let's see what happens. Because, like, he's still producing, so there's going to be reinforcements coming. But there is a clear path straight into the main base right now. That is wild. Please don't get hung up here at the natural. Don't worry about supply depots. Go straight here. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh my gosh. Is Dada going to win this game? If he kills all the production, it might very well be possible. Please go up the main. Start killing these tanks right now. Nice drag. Holy crap, Dada. This is why they call him Big Papa, dude. This is why they call him Big Papa. All right, now we have the... Okay, so this... We're against the clock, right? Because there still is a big Terran force. It's just in the wrong place, and it is coming up. Look at Nice One's bank, by the way. Look at this, 64 to 173, and we're talking about Dada coming back in this game. Okay, shit, that's a lot of tanks. But this is Zerglings we're talking about. Ooh, bad mine. Okay, your chances are getting slimmer and slimmer, but this is huge. Huge comeback potential here. And if he can get Nice One to just say GG through frustration, it's still a GG. Oh man, but Dada's got nothing left. He's got 20 workers, 20 army supply, half of which is Zerglings. Base denial. Base denial. Keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah, there's a lot of mines there. Is there anything in this dropship? I don't think so. You know what they say. Game's not over until Dada says so. These guys, the real MVP. 16 kills each. Oof. Okay, starting to secure the bottom left. Okay, the bottom of the map is open. Getting another hatchery. It's a great start. We are only down to 19 drones, though. But, hey, if we only have one base mining. Okay. Okay. We're building more drones. All right, Zerglings come up here. They say, maybe not. Okay, this looks scary. This looks scary. Alright, here comes the engagement. Wow. All those Zerglings only kill one Goliath. We've just got splats all over the place. This has been a long game. This game was like longer than both the other two combined. Oh no! Your one hope! Your 6 o'clock base! Oh wow! 200 to 39 supply. This was a great series. This was a great series. This was a lot of fun to watch. Good job, both players. And there's the GG. Nice One's gonna take it 2-1 over Big Daddy himself. Alright guys, I'm going to update the scorecard here real quick. That is going to be a Dada... No, I'm sorry. Nice One, 2-1 over Dada. I unfortunately do have to go though. But I do have enough time to do the anthem. Right, so we'll do the anthem, and then I'll come back. I'll make it up to you, H. Meyer, and who knows. And if there's another caster like Stage, I know you're here. If you're casting later or something, feel free to pick them up. I don't want them to get missed, especially since I totally did intend to cast that game. So let's do the anthem real quick, and then I hope everyone has a kick-ass day. We'll also raid someone cool. All right, so get your fingering fingers ready.
Winners rise and losers fall, reflexes sharp, minds and flaw. Gamers play, this never ends. CPL, legends play. CPL, we fight tonight. Let us sing the storyline. From the shadows to the dream, we are the Coach-Pupil League.
Armand's still playing? He is. Who else is on? We got Moonrai. I've rated him recently as well. Blah, 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 blah. Who else is... Whoops. Oh, shit. Hold on. Hold on! Hit the raid button. Hit the Starcraft category. I'm looking for CPLers. That's why it takes a second. Okay, don't see any other CPLers, so we'll send you over to Urban, okay? And you guys should be going over there here in about 9 seconds. Thanks again for watching. Sorry, H. Meyer, and who knows, we'll get you. Someone will get you. We'll make sure you get casted. This was a fun time, and remember, finger often.